Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a Marvel character spotlight on Jack Russell. Now, for those of you who do not know who Jack Russell is, he has been introduced into the MC. Well, let me rephrase that. He is going to be in the MCU very soon. He is going to be. He is a person who gets turned into a werewolf at night. He's actually literally called Werewolf by Night, which I find so odd. But anyway, so the big thing with him is with Jack Russell, his family goes through decades and decades, I think even centuries. I think it starts in the beginning in 1795, and it turns out that it's the family curse, and they all have werewolf lineage, I guess you would say. All thanks to Dracula, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. So, Jack Russell eventually finds out who his father is. Turns out that his father is actually a werewolf, and because Jack is, his son, at night, specifically around the full moon, he transforms into a werewolf. So apparently on his 18th birthday, he was told about his true father and the werewolf curse. Well, let's move on from that. So basically, at night, he would transform into this. So, under moonlight, Russell's able to transform into a werewolf, a large, powerful man-wolf hybrid, possessing enhanced human physical abilities, including strength, speed, stamina, agility, and reflexes. He also has sharp claws and fangs that can render even cinder blocks or even soft metals to shreds. He has enhanced senses, especially his vision, which extends to ultraviolet and infrared ranges, allowing him to judge an individual's physical and mental state. When he's the werewolf, he's resistant to many forms of conventional injury, virtually impossible to kill, though can be wounded. He recovers from non-fatal wounds 10 times faster than humans. He's vulnerable to magic attacks, particularly to assaults involving silver due to its mystic purity. Sorry. Those bitten or scratched by werewolves generally become werewolves as well, although there are many instances where those wounds by Russell have not become werewolves. It is possible that Russell can control the transmission of the werewolf virus, I guess you would say, to a certain extent. Russell's control of his werewolf form varies with the phases of the moon, along with other factors. Initially, he can only turn into a werewolf under the full moonlight, and in werewolf form, he is savage and uncontrollable. At other times, still transforming under the moonlight, he can control his werewolf form. However, under the full moon's light, he loses control of his form, and when he returns into this kind of bestial, kind of just basically a monster, I guess you would say. Russell himself is above average intelligence with limited knowledge. While his human form generally has average to slightly above average abilities, these have sometimes eventually elevated to peak human levels, with his durability making him an enhanced human. Jack Russell is a skilled motorcyclist and frequently travels by motorcycle in human form as well in werewolf form when he has his full human intelligence. So he has gone up against some major people. Specifically, one of the big ones is Moon Knight. So that's one of the big things that gets me is, Moon Knight going after werewolves, which is always fun. Then he's also dealt with a lot of other people as well, dealing with Morbius, the Living Vampire, Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, and Man-Thing. Oh, and the Sorceress, Jennifer Kale. As the werewolf himself, Jack joins other werewolves as well as Night Shift. He's also deals with a monster squad to battle supernatural threats. He has even teamed up with Tigra, and the pair go up against the organization Hydra. Just interesting overall. He's gone up against a lot of other people that I was surprised about as well. Peter Parker, who is Spider-Man, Hangman, Tigra, Frankenstein's monster, Atlas, Moon Knight we already talked about, Dr. Voodoo, Iron Man, Spider-Woman. Trying to think of people who... Avengers West Coast, specifically. Captain America, the Hulk, the regular Avengers, Doctor Strange, Sabretooth, Nightshade, Man-Wolf, Blade. That's not surprising. He's also dealt with his niece, who is a vampire by night, which is interesting. We also have the Hood, Dormammu, Punisher, Agent Venom, who is Flash Thompson with the Venom symbiote. And he's been attacked a lot. I mean, apparently he's been able to be shot with his head off completely and be able to regenerate it. So his healing factor is pretty powerful, which is odd to me. It's unclear, though, if a silver bullet to the head would kill him or not. We would assume it would, but at the same time, who knows? So he's not always a villain. He has been a hero for most of his career, or trying to do the best he can, but it's during the full moon where he really loses control. So the one thing that always weirds me out with this stuff is that Jack Russell is 6'8", and when he turns into a werewolf, he shrinks to 5'10", which I find very odd. And he also loses 100 pounds, but apparently he's stronger, faster, and everything else. He's gone by other names as well. He's gone by John Doe, Russ Jackson, Werewolf by Night, which is not that surprising, and Wild Man of Borneo. Very interesting. Now, as always, Marvel does their kind of energy or ranking system based out of 7. So his durability is a 4, which I find interesting since he's not been able to die easily. His energy level is a 1 because he doesn't really have any, like, blasting ability or anything like that. We also have his fighting skills at a 4, very strong and very skillful. His intelligence is a 2. It's slightly above average, or it is average. His speed is a 3, and his strength is a 4. So overall, he's not that powerful when you consider the rest of the MCU, but it will definitely be interesting. And the reason why we're doing this character spotlight is because of the announcement of Werewolf by Night being on Disney+. That won't be coming out until, I believe, next October. Do not quote me on that, but that's what I'm going with. So it's going to be interesting to see this, because this is going to be a horror-themed show that Marvel has not done before, especially for the MCU. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. And are they going to go full-on horror, or are they going to go more suspenseful? I'm hoping that they kind of go more on the slasher, murderous side, but that's just me personally, because I'm a fan of that. But I wouldn't be mad because let's be honest, Marvel's been doing a great job with all of their shows, that I'm going to trust them to do what they do, obviously. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited about this character? Me personally, I knew very little about this character before doing this video, and I learned a lot, but I was also really happy to know that Marvel's going in many different directions. And I know some people think that Marvel is just grasping at straws now. But I think to make the MCU make sense to the world now, or at least to have it continue, you have to have those C, D characters come out, because they're part of everything else. Celebrities come in all shapes and sizes as well. So do the supernatural and superpowered beings of Marvel. So we're going to be seeing the same thing. And you know what? Who knows? Werewolf by Night might be everyone's favorite. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Moon Knight was another one where he really wasn't a known, a mainstream character, and people loved the show, and now people like Moon Knight. So that being said, definitely excited to see more of what Marvel's going to be doing, especially Werewolf by Night. As always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.